Hi, my name is Ken Gurman. I'm the Unstoppable Geek. And what I wanted to talk today about is I wanted to just talk today about my entrepreneurial experience and how for a long time I sold out. When I was 7 years old, I worked on a family business for my mom and dad on a landscape business. And in a landscape business, you have a lot of pots, a lot of containers with a lot of trees and shrubs in them that have weeds in them. And my job back then when I was 7 years old is to pull weeds from the pots. And we get paid a penny a pot, which back then, was a lot of money. And over a period of time of working the business, well, I spent most of from age 7 on, pretty much strapped to my dad's leg, listening to everything that he was talking to with customers on the sales lot. Because my father worked full-time for 3M as a landscape supervisor for about 42 years. And we had the part-time, we had the business, the landscape business, and my mother ran it most of the time when my father was at work. Well, she ran it when my father was at work. And my father knew landscaping really, really well, and I have a near photographic memory. I can't always remember what my wife asks me to do, but that's just a different story. So I spent a lot of time around my father when he was on the landscape lot, and whether I was on his leg or I was usually within earshot of everything he was saying, and I was memorizing everything he was saying and telling people. And I think I was about 10 years old when I started doing sales in landscape design. And these people would come to the landscape, and so my father was very, very busy, and said, well, I can help you. They look at me and they just laugh at me. What does a little kid like you at 10 years old think they can do to help me design my house? So I said, I'll tell you what. My father's the owner. If you're not completely satisfied, then you can happily wait for him. But he's going to be several hours before he'll be available. So if you just give me a shot, because my father taught me everything I know. And back in the early days, my father used to draw the landscape plans out with a stick and stones in the ground on the sales lot. So what did I do? I duplicated what he did. I would take and I would lay out the entire landscape design in the dirt. And it got to the point where I was doing really, really good in the sales, because it was all about building relationships with my customers. And they would come in to the sales lot, and my father wasn't busy, and they would go, well, is Kenny there? Now, I don't let everybody call me Kenny, but is Kenny here? Or sometimes they say Ken. Well, I'm Ken. I said, no, the little one. They would ask for me instead of my father. Well, no, I know that your son can take care of us, so I know you're busy, and blah 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 blah. And they would keep on coming back to me. Now, the reason that I sold out and didn't stay the path of the entrepreneur is because one of the things I didn't like about our family business is, as a member of the family, you were always the last person to get paid. And all we ever talked about over the dinner table was how we're going to pay the business bills and how we're going to pay our bills. And I didn't want to have that kind of lifestyle. So at age 16, I got tired of being the last person to get paid. I'd have a hot date. My mom and dad had owed me like $500 from working. Well, we'll pay you half now, and then we'll pay you half later. I said, well, I had a hot date tonight, and I had some plans for that money. So as soon as I turned 16 and could work for somebody else and get a regular paycheck, I did. And my first job away from my parents was being a busboy working for a restaurant, because that was the other thing I was really good at when I was growing up, is we had to cook for ourselves. I advanced from grilled cheese sandwiches to macaroni and cheese to SpaghettiOs to pretty much the experimental cooker. I laugh when I used to say some of the concoctions I would make would be like eggs erroneous. I forget the name of the movie, but I think if you ever saw the movie, you'd laugh and you know it. But my point is that it took me 20 plus years to learn to love myself because of my gifts as an intuitive energy healer and a psychic medium. And after the 65 mile an hour collision, to have enough pain in my life, enough discomfort in my life, that the only choice I could actually take to create my own economic recovery was to design a business and create a business where I would never have to worry about money ever again. But I would never be in a position where, over a 5-year period of time of taking a 40% reduction in salary and losing my house. Now, they tell you not to talk about your struggles, but I think it's important that you understand your struggles to understand where I was and to understand where I'm going and how I can help you. So in my business, starting this past, and I burned a lot of money, learned a lot of lessons. So when you go and every Wednesday when you come to my hangouts or my webinars, I'm teaching you about the things that I've learned, and I'm doing it for free because I want to help you create a successful business where you're going to be working with me and joining my team, or whether you're going to be doing private coaching, or however you want to work together that best suits your situation. I can help you. But my business model, like I've talked about before, is to plug people, get people into a digital franchise where the profit margins are pretty high, where you don't have to put $5 in to get $1 out. You can put $1 in and get $1.50 or $1 out, or $2 out, or $3 out, or even up to $7 out, depending upon. Well, and that's just the way it is. That's the profitability. When you're in the information services and education business, there's a high profit margin. So that's what I want to just, for a long time, I resisted going back to the path of the entrepreneur because I sold out. I sold out for a paycheck. And it wasn't until I had enough pain in my life, enough discomfort in my life, and frankly a lot of disappointment, because I worked my ass off for 20 plus years to get to the level of salary I was at, just with a couple strokes of a pen to have it taken away. So, what is it that's stopping you from starting a business? What is it for you that's stopping you from embracing your passion, from quieting your mind? Stop listening to the solutions that your mind is trying to argue out, shutting those gremlins down. Those little guys that are just, well, that'll never work. Bullshit, it will too. So just quietly listening to saying you should do this. Because when you start using the word figure, it's your head talking. When a soothing feeling comes over your heart, that you just hear this voice coming from your soul, that's your heart talking. That's God talking. That's who you need to listen to. That's who I'm listening to now. Because I don't have any other choice to create any other lifestyle that I want to create for myself and for my family and the people that I work with. Because the pain was great enough in my life that I had to overcome it. that I was forced into the position that I was forced into a position of getting my business going. And it's the best choice I've ever made, next to marrying my wife. Because without her, I'd never have the courage to do what I'm doing now, without her support. So my name is Ken German, I'm the Unstoppable Geek, and I just want to share with you the reasons I sold out and what caused me to start my own business. So have an awesome day, and we will see you next time.